Hey, all right. Sorry about that, you guys. I had to shut it down. Wanted to see if this would hopefully make a difference in Lizzie Chanel gaining access through the Be Live link that is there that in existence for guests. Every time you have when you create one of these, you get a link that is connected um, to your account, and that is what your guests use in order to enter the show. And so, of course, there's for some reason she is having a problem with connecting to the link. So, but anyways, anybody who stood by, thank you so much. I'm going to continue with what I was saying, and hopefully she'll be able to log in. If not, we will try to have her back again soon. Maybe there'll be some space in a future show. I'm not sure about that because right now we're kind of locked down. I got all kind of surprises for you guys as far as guests go. But anyways, so hopefully she'll be able to connect with the link, and then we'll be good to go. So as I was saying, so it's a very tough time in this country, and I have to say this not to because people talk about, oh, you're playing the race card and all that. It's not playing the race card. As a black person, a black man or a black woman or a black youth in this country, there are certain differences, whether it be, and I explained this last week, access to different things, different economic differences, things that our communities lack as a whole. But even if you don't live in a underserved neighborhood, or some people refer to as a ghetto or the hood, that's not the only way that you suffer some of these indignations, and these economic differences and access differences. It's literally just being black in America. And are there exceptions? Sure. Are there different circumstances? Absolutely. Are other people treated unfairly about things as well, too? Yes. But far more times, you will see the consistencies across the board. I've given, if you watch some of my previous shows, you will see, and welcome to everybody who's stopping through. Thank you so much. Comment if you can. I'd appreciate it. At least say hi. So that I know that you were here at some point. That would be awesome. But you see with all the murders that are happening, you see with all the protests, you see that every single day there is a new either life being lost, or somebody being abused, or somebody being having the police called on them in bizarre situations. For example, the guy that walked his dog and was sitting in the park, and he was watching. He's a bird watcher, avid bird watcher. That's literally what he does. And yet, but yet he was this is, I think, where the Karen thing started. Is that he was had the police called on him. The lady said that she was scared of him and he was going to do something. Norm Douglas, Casey Carver, Ricky D, Melvern, what's up? So, but he saw these different things happening. You see these different things happening. A dude got harassed for eating ice cream sitting on his own porch. I watched this video. It was like real. There's a comical version of it out now, which I don't know why somebody did that, but it was kind of funny. But there are serious things happening. Somebody getting stopped, a traffic stop, and getting yanked out of their car, windows smashed. I mean, just absurd things that are strange. Question coming from Farhat Obi: do you think the Black Lives Matter movement have impact on the upcoming elections or politics in general? So let me be clear about that. I'm glad you asked that, because I had that was one of the things that I was going to breach after I had our guest on. But one of the things that's important for everybody to understand is that the Black Lives Matters organization was birthed by three young ladies who um, felt that there needed to be something said and something done with the travesties and the inequities that we have in our communities, the loss of lives and the different things, in unequal access to better jobs, unequal pay, unequal funding for our schools, unequal, I mean, just so many different things. And so they started this movement, organization. Now, when you see somebody holding a BLM sign, does not necessarily mean that they're part of that quote unquote organization. It just means that they've co-opted the saying or co-opted the letters, or the phrase. When I think about Black Lives Matter, I love what the organization is doing, but when I say it, I'm not literally necessarily saying it on behalf of the organization. I'm saying it in its literal sense that a Black life physically matters, because at some point in our country, and still to some degrees in this country today, it appears as if in action and in inequity again, that our lives don't matter as much. Remember that since the beginning of this country, we were property in this country. We were workers in this country. We were slaves in this country. We were a property that could be traded, sold, whooped, beaten, lynched. Our wives could be raped. Our children could be stolen and raped and beaten. They used to set up these little fights where they would take little Black kids and they would put them in rings and make them box each other, no matter how big, no matter how small. And it was a sport to them to watch little Black kids beat up each other. So, and then of course, all of the institutions that we have, political or policing or systems of schools and actually education and healthcare, hospital systems, politics. All of these systems were created under a foundation of something that we weren't included in. So when the Constitution was written, we were still property. We weren't people still. We were just the N-word. So when the Bill of Rights was written, we were still the N-word. We weren't considered people. We had no vote. We had no say. Well, there's laws and bills and amendments that are still in this country, in the books, in the law books, in the that are still active today, that were written way back then when we weren't people and we had no say so. We had no vote. We had no input, and those things still exist. Some of them amended, but a lot of them still the same wording. Exactly. But even if it's just shifted a little bit, it's still that thing with a little bit of a twist to it. Have we made some forward? Yes, but they haven't changed those things. So if we're living in a country where the country is still run based on the things and the beliefs and the things that were written when we were still not equal, when we were still not considered people, when we were still not considered valuable enough to the country to not just work for it, not just lose lives for it, not just shed blood for it, but we weren't valuable enough to have a say so. We weren't valuable enough to take part in the creation of these things. If those are still in existence, and those are the things that are underlying under these systems that we have today, then guess what that means? That's called systemic racism. For everybody who doesn't know or didn't know before I just explained that, now you know. So when you try to deny that systemic racism exists, now you can understand that it actually literally does. All you have to do is open up a book or read the Constitution. I can go through it. Matter of fact, next week I will do that on one of the days of shows next week. I will literally break down some of the Constitution so you can see when these things were written and when things were amended. And that way you'll understand that when those things happened, we had nothing to do with them. And those laws and those amendments and those bills and so on still exist today. And so if they still exist today, then how can you dare say that systemic racism isn't alive and well? So this is what we're trying to overcome now. So the Black Lives Matter movement, to get back on point, for the Black Lives Matter organization and the Black Lives Matter movement are one and the same, but yet also different. Because as I said, there are so many people walking around saying Black Lives Matter when they just literally mean that. They're not part of the organization of Black Lives Matter. So are some of those things helpful? Yes. Will it help the election process? Probably so, especially with younger voters, because a lot of younger voters who are out there doing these protests, the thousands and thousands all over the country, those people are not voting for President that guy, just so you know. So is it going to help? Absolutely. Will it help to a degree where it changes things for the Electoral College, which is what actually makes things happen? That's to be seen. I don't know the answer to that, because we all understand that it is up to all of us to vote, and especially making sure that we're having educated votes on the local level. But understand that because of the last census, which is something that everybody, if you threw it away, go online and request it. That is how things are district and proportioned. That is how we are able to come up with they come up with the amount of Electoral College votes that exist. So if your state is not zoning things properly because hundreds and thousands of people didn't fill out the census, then your vote is still going to count, but it counts a little bit less because you've messed up the whole demographics of what's going on and how Electoral College votes are issued out. So I don't think that you guys have to deal with that where you're at, Virat. But here, that Electoral College thing, it makes a mountain of a difference in our election cycles, and so we have to rely on people to take responsibility in all communities to fill out the census and then vote, and vote with a purpose. Like I said earlier, vote with understanding, vote with knowledge, and vote with a sense of responsibility to hold those that you voted, if they win, to hold them accountable. And even if they lose, it's up to you to help those other people who won. If they're failing on those things, we have to help hold them accountable too, so we can get ready for the next time we vote. Every time we vote is supposed to be our it's like a precursor to the next time, and a precursor to the next time until we no longer breathe breath. We should always be thinking forwardly like that. So right now, when I'm voting for not Trump, and then I vote for Kamala Harris and Biden, right? So I'm not going to make no secret. Obviously, everybody knows that already. So I voted for them. Now, I'm already thinking about what happens if they fail at keeping their promise to our local governments, to our states, counties, and so on down, which trickles back to us. And if they fail, then guess what? I'm voting them out. You see what I'm saying? And I'm going to encourage so many more people to vote them out. And by that time, hopefully, there's millions of people watching Food for Action, so I can have some weight with millions of people, or hundreds of people, thousands of people, whatever it may be, to encourage folks to get rid of whoever it is. That's how we have to think about voting once we become of voting age. We can't just think about it as we're voting for the president, and that means that that once we've done that, everything's good. No, locally is the most important part of your voting, and then as long as the census has been done and everybody has been counted in this country, then that makes your I don't say regional, but your government, like the president votes happen. Everything else, we obviously vote within our state, and our counties, and cities and stuff like that. So those things are really important too. But so anyways, Farad, I hope I answered your question good enough. I know I spoke about some other things too, but hopefully I got you with that. Just a little bit off the path real quick. Tonight at 7:30. Wait, what time is it now? Oh, it's almost that time. Wait a minute. Maybe it's past that time. Oh yeah. 7:30. The Lakers are playing, and hopefully they're gonna bring the championship home tonight. So yes, I'm not just serious all the time. I believe in LeBron James and the Lake Show. So hopefully they are going to make it happen today, because that to me is important. Another thing that's important is that right now Dallas Cowboys are playing the New York Giants. And it's 34-34 with 40 seconds left, which is ridiculous. The Cowboys are like, look, I'm sorry for all the Cowboy lovers out there, but that's ridiculous. You let 0-4 New York Giants battle you to an even race with 40 seconds left. That is just absurd. Like that's like a heinously absurd thing. But of course, but the sad part is that Zach got hurt. I mean, Zach Prescott got hurt, and that's a sad thing. I did see that, but the damage was already done before that with the way it was going. But all my prayers go out to him, because that looked like a really, really, really nasty injury. And I wish him well. I hope that he gets a better diagnosis than what it looked like, because it looked like it might be a season-ending scenario or worse. But prayers for him, and everybody should pray for him. But still, before that ever happened, the Giants were giving the Cowboys a run for their money, which is crazy. So because the Giants are like garbage. they are like the most garbage football team in America. Well, probably, kind of. But like my friend Stephen A. On First Take says, what can go wrong with the Cowboys will go wrong with the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys, Stephen A.? Anyways, that's another one that I'm working on. And if I can land Stephen A. on one of these, I'm going to do like a special 4-hour show. Also, want to let you guys know something. Trying to keep it light right now. And again, I want to apologize to my guest. She tried to log on using the link, and for some reason it wasn't working for her. I don't know what was making that happen. But unfortunately, that did happen. And so my apologies. We will have her back. I'll find a place to fit her in, maybe do an extended show. Check on Chanel. Did she manage to join? No, she didn't. Whenever anybody is able to join in, they show up on the bottom of my screen. I can see them. And it instantly pops up. So for some reason, it didn't work. And that stinks, but I have to keep rolling. So if she does find a way to get on, I will bring her on no matter what time it is. I don't care, because I have the sports on in the background, so I can keep up with all that too. But my apologies, though, to everybody that it didn't work. I am definitely going to get in touch with BeLive, because this is like the 12th problem I've had with them since I've been doing this, and that's not a good thing. So they might owe me a refund of some sort. I don't know how we'll work that out, but it's just, it harms the show, and it harms what I'm trying to create with you guys. And so we definitely don't want that happening. So, looks like the Cowboys are about to pull it off. So, but anyways, I hope that everybody is registered to vote. I hope that everybody's going to get out there and vote. I hope that everybody is doing their part to fight racism. I hope everybody is doing their part to understand racism and systemic racism, that are taking the things that I'm doing my best to give you to heart. I've provided several different things along the way. If you look back at past shows of how you can see the understanding of get the understanding of systemic racism. I've posted several things. I've literally done like almost 600 posts, I think, at this point. So hopefully some of that has been helpful. But please get uh, get um, get in alignment with unity and peace. Get in alignment with understanding what's happening here. And especially my white brothers and sisters, it's important that you guys step to the plate, because one of the things that I keep on telling people is that it's so important. It is so important for when it comes to when it comes to um, uh, when it comes to the fighting racism. It's so important these days. We've learned a valuable lesson from the protests, the peaceful protests, 94% which have been peaceful, by the way. And then the 6% that haven't been peaceful were not started by Antifa and all this stuff that they try to say on Fox and in that freaking White House. But anyways, so the point is that uh, through that, though, we see that when we have you guys standing with us, it becomes much more effective, because there are a lot of people that are numb, deaf, tone deaf, and blinded by from and deny themselves to even hear somebody like me talk, even if everything I said made sense. Or any other black person or brown person, darker skinned person, not white person. They will sometimes just refuse to listen to us, but they would hear you when you speak. And so that's why I demand from my white friends, I demand from my white co-workers, I demand from my white Christian brothers and sisters to help bridge this gap, to help stand up and fight racism. Because if you do, if you help, then we are going to be able to reach more ears and more eyes and more brains, gather awareness from some of those people that refuse, that refuse to listen to us because of the color of our skin, which is the problem itself. So I encourage and demand from you all, please, all my white brothers and sisters, jump up to your feet, stand up, and do something. Help the fight against racism. It is so important. We need you in the fight with us. If you're not standing with us, I hate to say it, but it is perceived as you are standing against us. We can't have, it hurts me sometimes. And I think I've spoke about this before, but it hurts me when I look at some of my white friends, Facebooks and whatever else, Instagrams, and they never say anything about the wrongs that are being done to black folks in society. And when I see that, it crushes my soul, crushes my spirit. And that was part of the reason why I started this, when I saw things happening and I didn't see any of my white friends saying anything about it. And there's been a few still, and there's been a little more and more, but still far, far less than what should be happening. I mean, by now, with all the stuff that's happened, that's gone on, man, there should be hundreds and thousands of my friends. Because let's see it this way. I have almost 5,000. I had to actually do a purge and get rid of some people off of my Facebook, not because of political views or anything like that, but just people that didn't any longer have pictures attached, or that weren't active, like they weren't doing anything. And because I have to do that kind of stuff in order to keep on, adding other friends when I get requests. And so I'm back to almost 5,000 again. And I'm telling you, I don't even have 10% of that are standing up, at least vocally, verbally, or post-wise, saying anything about the racism that's going on, the systemic racism that's going on, which is frightening. It's scary to me, because I'm wondering what the heck they're thinking about, what is on their minds that makes them not have the compassion, that makes them not see the necessity of that they should be doing excuse me. Yeah. What makes them think that they should not do anything to help the fight? Because I know they hear me, and I know they see my posts. I know they see my brother's posts. So I don't understand. Jerome Graham, Melody Thomas, hi. I know that my white friends see the posts. And I know that a lot of them read the posts because I can tell, and I can see if they like them or not. But they don't go and do anything else. They don't say anything else, and so that to me makes me question, like, how good of a friend, quote unquote friend, are they if they're not standing up with me, if they're not standing up with their other black friends, if they're not coming out front about this problem in America. Are they really our friends? Does that mean that they have to, go out there and enter every march and whatever? No. Maybe they'll just support black businesses more, or maybe they'll just, do more posts that are meaningful posts, not copy pastes, but meaningful posts in their own words. Maybe they'll talk to some coworkers. Maybe they'll talk to some neighbors that they know are rebel flag carriers. That kind of thing, doing something. Like, can't you do something? Let me say it again. My white friends and family. Well, no, my white family hasn't got a problem. Well, actually, some of them do, but my white friends on Facebook, on Instagram, from Charleston, from Florida, from other parts of the country where I've lived, traveled, toured, and played. Why aren't you saying anything? Why aren't you doing anything? Why aren't you standing up? Why don't you believe? I mean, here, write in, talk to me about it. Why don't you believe you should do something? I'd love to hear that. If someone can't support you publicly, they are not your real friends. And I believe that, because thank you, Melody Thomas, because I think that because all of the bad stuff is happening publicly, if you are really my friend, then you should be willing to answer those bad things on my behalf publicly. So because I would do it for you. So if, for example, I have friends of all walks of life, but let me see, for example, if I had a friend who maybe they have I have a friend who owns a construction company. Okay. So if my friend owns a construction company and somebody started bad mouthing their work and whatever, just because they had a disagreement, guess what I would do? I would instantly step to the table and say, no, and type a message, because I don't live near them. So I would type a message, put something on Facebook, maybe put a post on their page, showing my support for them and how amazing they are and all that stuff. That's what I would do. So why is it that my white friends won't do the same thing for me and the other black folks that are supposed to be their friends? Why do you not? I really want to know this. Like, if anybody has the answer for this, I'm kind of specifically asking for a white response. Is if you are a white person who is a friend of mine or a friend of somebody else's, and you just happen to be on here, tell me why, if you're one of these people, or maybe you know somebody, why is it that you won't speak up on behalf of black folk? Do I have to, and I don't mean to sound cynical or dark, but do I have to die first at the hands of police or in some kind of racial war or something? Is that what has to happen first? What is it that you have to see or experience that will make you believe that you should say something? Because I always heard that doing the right thing is the best thing. Like, we should always do that, and we should always stand up for our friends, and we should. So why do the majority of my white friends not do that? Okay, how about this? How about the majority of my brothers? I have 6 brothers. How about, why don't the majority of my brothers' white friends do that? I can start naming names of people. That would be scary. I can go down a list of friends that me and my brothers have in common of white folks who haven't said a word, not a peep, not an inkling. So just in case any of you guys out there who see this think that I'm only trying to talk about somebody else's life, I'm talking about mine now. I'm talking about friends of me and my brothers and my sister, my family, friends of my family, white folks that are friends of my family that don't say a word or lift a finger to be a part of the fight against what we continue to suffer. Can somebody please explain that to me? By the way, I got a text message just now. They didn't put it on the comments. I guess they didn't want anybody to see it. Text message said, "Why are you wearing those shade glasses? Do you think you're cool?" So I have to answer this one again. These are prescription glasses. They are prescription shade glasses because I have chronic Lyme disease. And with that disease, one of my symptoms is I have crazy, ridiculous headaches. So in my house, if you look behind me, to this side, right there behind me, you will see a blackout curtain. Every window in here is blackout curtain, but I have to have bright lights on now because I'm doing this. So I have lights on in here. So I have to wear these glasses because I'm also looking at that screen with all the bright light around me, and I have to have these on. It helps to bring down the intensity of the headaches. So no, I am not trying to be cool. Do these glasses actually kind of be cool, look a little bit cool? Sure, that's awesome, but that's not why I'm wearing them. I would love to just be showing you my eyeballs, but then I'd be probably crying at the same time, trying to keep my eyes focused, watching the screen. So yeah. So anyways, so I just thought, so I just thought I should tell you guys that I'm not being cool with the glasses. The glasses are for my physical condition, and they help me not have to, feel like I'm completely dying while I'm on here. Which, by the way, I want to thank everybody who has contributed to my fundraising on Facebook, on Venmo, PayPal, and the Cash App. Please, if you can give, please continue to give. I still am collecting money. I have to do these not shots, they're blocks. I have to do these stellate ganglion blocks twice a month. So please look up stellate ganglion blocks. I think it's spelled STELLATE, ganglion, GANGLION, I believe. Ganglion, yeah, something like that. And block, BLOCK. Please look it up so you understand what it is that I have to go through. But I have to do this twice a month. And so I need your support to help with all of the related expenses that deal with that, because I don't have paid sponsors right now. I have sponsors, partners, I call them, that will give product and stuff, like the shoes that I posted online earlier this week and stuff like that. So, but other than that, that's up. Hey, what's up, Paulie? People don't like, man, how are you, Paul? I love you, man. I can't wait to see you. I got a message from Pops too. From Pops Hoyt, man. That was really nice. I sent him a response. He didn't say anything back, but I'm sure he enjoyed it. But I did get that message. So give love to everybody. Paul, you said people don't like to involve themselves even in the conversation, especially when it doesn't concern their situation directly. Ultimately, it affects us all, but that's a difficult and unsettling concept for some to grasp. That is absolutely 100% true, sir. Thank you, Paul. It is true. Is that a lot of people, regardless if they could consider themselves our friends, buddies, pals, or whatever, they wait for things to directly affect them, and that becomes their thing. For example, like I said earlier, to some of my closer associates or buddies, because I like to tell everybody that I have very few friends. I got a handful since my birth, because those are people that I know would stand up with me no matter what. But like cousin Polly, but those it would have to be a situation where I literally was murdered and maybe then somebody will do it. Or maybe if I got murdered in front of their house, I don't know. But it's sad to have to think that. It's sad to have to believe that. It's sad to have to walk around and know that the people that say that they're your friends don't lift a finger unless it literally personally convicts them because it touched them so close to their house, to their to their communities, but or what they consider their community, their little circle, and that really sucks because that goes to show that people don't really understand what friendship is. That's why I love the term neighbors and how God says love on your neighbors. Everybody's my neighbor. And so I should just love on everybody, and I should be there for anybody. If somebody across the street from me right now had a problem out there and I should go help that person. Doesn't matter if they ever curse me out. Doesn't matter if they look at me and call me the N-word. That's what I should do. So that's how I believe. And I wish that more people had that concept of closer to friendship, because then we'd probably be a lot further, a lot faster. Melody Thomas, there are many reasons why some white people do not publicly involve themselves. Some are closet racist. That's true too. Some are afraid of backlash from friends and family. Some worry about their safety, and some who run businesses do not get involved for fear of losing businesses. And to be honest, there are some who just don't see the value in it, right? And so I'll address all of those things. That's very good. Very good. What's the word? Very good. I just forgot the word. Anyways, I like it. So let's get to some of that. So closet racist, absolutely. A lot of people are like that. I know them. Come on. I've talked about some of them. You guys know. Some are afraid of backlash from friends. So backlash. So yeah, because but see, that's the problem. If they're afraid of suffering backlash, that means that they are fully aware of the other folks, or at least some of the other folks that have those kind of racist beliefs, and they just don't want to be against those people. Maybe most of their friends are that way. And so they feel their lives and their businesses and whatever will suffer because they're doing what's right instead of the majority of their friends. Well, maybe they should have chose better with their other friends. Maybe they shouldn't have racist friends or hater friends. I'm just saying. Or maybe they should just spend more time trying to help those friends who believe that way, help them gain some knowledge so that they won't have to, they can help them lose those kind of beliefs and those kind of fears of another people, of another race, and so on. So yeah, the backlash from family and friends. Look, we've seen it. I mean, come on. I could, when my mom's on, I will tell you lots of stories about that kind of stuff. But I saw it with my daughter's mom's family and so on. So with one of my brother's kids' mom. So, we all know that stuff exists. But if you're going to call me your friend, or anybody that is not white, that is black or brown or indigenous or any other ethnicity, shouldn't you stand up? Shouldn't you believe? Shouldn't you feel something, some kind of conviction that says, you know what, I need to say something, because now, like I always post, enough is enough, America. Like, at what point is enough enough? Is it not until what? Until your child marries somebody of another race, and now you can grasp that, oh my gosh, they're hating my child or their kids, or until it does that, which is just so sad that's how we have to see things. And to have, what is I like the last part of what you said, Melody, value. So if they don't see the value in it, then what value system are they embracing? And what is the value? Is it what? Is it monetary? Is it I don't want to get rid of the number of friends I have because I feel comfortable having that many friends? Is it you're scared of letting go of those friends, even though they harbor hate and they are racist and they roll around with the rebel flag? Is it? I mean, what is it? And if your business is built on the back and the foundation of racism and racists, then maybe you should close the business anyways. Maybe you should, maybe you need to do a little redo, because if your business is going to fail because you stand up against racism, then that means that probably everybody that's patronizing your business must be racist. So close that thing down. Tell me who you are. Shut it down. You know what I mean? Anyways, thank you, Melody, for all of your input. I love it. Paulie, I love you, man. I hope all is going well, man. I want to come soon, so let me know, what's gonna happen next. Okay, brother. Love you, man. Give love to Joni and Pops and Keith. Anyways, let's see. Farad, it requires backbone to stand up. Absolutely. But true, people don't pay attention for things that don't touch them until it does. That is correct. And it is just a shame that it has to be that way. Very unfortunate that the only way people can tap in. Thank you, Paulie. I love you, man. That the only way that people think that they can tap in, like as if it's a freaking wrestling match, the only way that they can tap in is if it literally is something that's being done to them personally. So basically, friendship doesn't really mean friendship, because if somebody's truly friends, then it's anything that happens or hurts or harms a friend is going to be affecting you personally. That's at least my understanding of friendship. So that means that you guys are there's so many people out there using the term friendship, and they really don't know what it means. And that's very sad. They're claiming to have a smillion friends, but yet they're not a friend themselves, because that's not friendship. Friendship means that you have a bond. It's kind of like a marriage in a way. When you claim people as your friend, that means I'm gonna have your back and you're gonna have my back throughout this life until we no longer breathe breath. And if somebody else can tell me that is untrue, then I will mow your lawn for a year. I don't know. I'll do something. So, but of course we know that that's just an impossibility. It is factual that if you're really friends with people, you stand up for them. So again, before I get out of here, and again, I'm sorry about my guest not being able to log in with the link, but I already sent a message when I had to do the restart. I sent a message to Be Live to let them know that happened, and hopefully that problem will be cured before Wednesday. By the way, let me tell you the upcoming guests. So tonight was supposed to. So we have on the 18th. I'm sorry, on the 14th. That's 3 days from now. We have one of the biggest producers in the dang on country, maybe even the world. His name is James Worthy. He calls himself King James Worthy, and he has produced every R&B, top of the game R&B hip hop artist. He's worked with everybody. Let me say that again. Everybody. Million records sold, platinums, plaques all over the place, Grammys, MTV, whatever you can say. This dude, Google his name if you need to understand, but he is going to be my guest on the 18th, and I guarantee you're going to enjoy that, because he's going to be able to tell us stories about everybody that he's worked with, upcoming project. He has an album, a record that's coming out too. I think he has a video and a single out right now too. So you don't want to miss Wednesday's show with King James Worthy being in the house. It's going to be an awesome time. We are going to tackle regular, real issues at the same time. So I'm never going to not do that. But there are going to be days where I attack certain things, and then we enjoy the blessing of being able to have this caliber of guests as well as my friends as guests and so on. So, but when we have somebody that, you know, of that stature, I mean, like this dude has produced and worked with everybody, like literally, it's crazy, pop and R&B and hip hop. It's like insane when if you Google him, you will just bug out when you see all the people that he's worked with, and he's about to be on this show this coming Wednesday night. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Farhat and Paul and Melody and Norm Douglas and let me see, and hold on, let me scroll back, and Jerome Graham and well, I can't see everybody else now. Doggone it, I hate this. But anyways, I thank everybody who's come on and supported the show so far. Keep tuning in. I'm trying to bring better, not better, but I'm trying to bring bigger and bigger guests, quote unquote, bigger to the show so that you guys can enjoy parts of the show as well. With a lighter, side of things, entertaining side of things, but I will never lose the message, which is we are here and our main purpose is to bridge the gap and create a united state in America. Farhat, I appreciate you staying up till the wee hours of the morning with us. Please get some of your friends on here, man. Tag some of your friends. I want people from every corner of the earth on here. So get a group of friends, man, and get them all to log in on here Wednesday. I promise I'll shout out all of them. Bring them all on. All right. So anyways, I love you guys. Please love on each other. If you are watching this later, please share it with friends. If you're watching now, share it with friends. Share it with family. Start the conversation because once that conversation is had, then we can move to the next part, which is assessing, evaluating, and then hopefully we turn it into an action, which is why we call this Food for Action. Thank you again. God bless you all. And we will try to get Lizzie Chanel in the future. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but until next week, until Wednesday, you guys be blessed. I'll see you soon. Go Lakers. God bless you. Same black time, same black channel.